Welcome, everybody, to Straight Shoot, a wrestling podcast. I'm one half of your host, Santi, here with Steve, and today we're going to be talking all about WrestleMania. I mean, if you're on the channel here, you've been seeing nothing but WrestleMania videos, so I'm sure you're not surprised. But today we're going to be talking about the best celebrity performances in WrestleMania history. Steve, are you excited for this topic?
I can't wait for this topic. I think this topic, when we were chatting about it, was one of the ones you came up with. I was like, I don't know if I can get that many. And then we kind of made the terms of this a little looser.
Yeah.
So you go over and explain how we're going about this. Like,
Sure.
We're not doing just in-ring performers.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So initially Steve was struggling with wanting to do this topic because I think he thought that we were only going to do in-ring performances. So like, you know, the Logan Pauls, the Snookis, the Bad Bunnies of the world. But I said, nah, like let's celebrity appearances in general, whether they were a commentator, whether it was Muhammad Ali as a referee, whether it was a musical performance, whether it was somebody backstage, doesn't matter. If they're a celebrity mainstream in some capacity and they were at WrestleMania, we can chat about them. So, I mean, let's start off with, like, I've already kind of listed some of the big ones. Let's talk about like the big three in the ring, right? Which is Logan Paul, Bad Bunny, and if you want to call him, Pat McAfee. So yeah, initially from those three, I mean, initial thoughts, because I don't think we have to spend too long on them, because aside from Pat McAfee, they're all pretty much active members of the WWE zeitgeist.
Okay, so I'm going to ramble it off quick. Logan Paul, incredible athlete. And yes, okay, he did say something in one of his promos the other day saying he was built for this. Cool. Yes, you have the physique. You're talented. You're an athlete. You did a really good job at WrestleMania. Am I going to see you as a Hall of Famer? Maybe when you're like 65 years old. So like, I'm done with talking about Logan Paul. Bad Bunny, probably one of the most incredible performances I've seen from a celebrity in professional wrestling history for WrestleMania.
Dude, real quick, for those that are listening to this right now, that Mania Steve and I watched together.
First time ever.
We weren't even doing straight shoot. So what we're about to talk about here was pre-straight shoot. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, so that was the first time Santi and I had ever actually watched a WWE pay-per-view together, and I don't think we sat down that entire match. Like, Bad Bunny just kept putting on miracles that you didn't believe. A guy who is a Puerto Rican singer, rapper, you didn't know until later how good and how much he put into it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Bad Bunny, absolutely mind-blowing how good he was. I think any celebrity in-ring performance cannot top Bad Bunny's. That's
I would agree with that. Like, I think it's not a controversial thing to say that Logan Paul is better in the ring, but Logan Paul is also a super athlete. All right.
Yeah.
Like none of us expected Bad Bunny to be able to do the things that he did. And a lot of us had high expectations for what Logan Paul is capable of doing, because we've seen him be an athlete before, right? Yeah. With his boxing, his showmanship, like we knew that, right? But Bad Bunny caught us all by surprise when he pulled out a Puerto Rican destroyer. Okay. All right. Like that thing, like Steve said, I was out of my seat screaming during the Bad Bunny performance at WrestleMania. And yeah, like the one at 37 was good. Like everything that he's done at WrestleMania has been good so far. So yeah, those two obviously get like that seal of approval. And then the last one that's always kind of just part of the WWE universe. I know some people are like, well, this person has had a better performance. Right now we're talking about the ones that have been like consistent with the WWE, and the other one's Pat McAfee. We got hit, dude. What a fun match he had with Austin Theory at last year's WrestleMania.
I didn't know a kicker could do a vertical up like that and then do a back moonsault and land it on his feet. Like that had me speechless. I think a lot, like I talk a lot, but that one had me speechless. Like Pat McAfee exceeded expectations. I think that's the best way to say it. Pat McAfee exceeded expectations and then got buried by Vince McMahon. But
that's okay. That's okay. Like it's one of those situations where you come out over in a burial because it's Vince McMahon. Everyone knows you can beat the shit out of Vince McMahon, Pat McAfee. But the character Vince McMahon is bigger than life. It's totally fine to get buried by Vince.
Exactly. So yeah, those three that we just talked about and mentioned, Santi, like I think those are like the upper echelon of in-ring performers. So
Sure.
we've talked about those. We can push those aside. One that comes to mind, and this is completely left field. The crew from Jackass.
I can talk about these guys for days.
Please do.
Dude.
It just popped in my head. So the crew from Jackass. Go ahead.
That was the best match of WrestleMania 39. Sorry, 38. Sorry, that was the best match of WrestleMania 38. Like in terms of what wrestling is supposed to be, this emotional roller coaster from beginning to end, a story that's being told. Obviously, technically, Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins was the best match of that card. Duh. Obviously, I'm not a lunatic. All right, I'm not insane. But they didn't have a build. They didn't have a story. It was just a guy that showed up, and now they're having an awesome technical match. But the story that the Jackass Crew told with Sami Zayn absolutely endeared me to Sami Zayn to the point where I said this match made Sami Zayn a superstar, and I was right. The performances from the entire Jackass Crew was so much fun. Johnny Knoxville, Wee Man, the dude, I don't remember his name, but the dude that dances in the Chip and Dale underwear. Even to like the night before Mania, Wee Man asking Brock Lesnar to slam him on a real table in a real restaurant. Like just their whole aura was so much fun at WrestleMania, and their match was fantastic. I think it was the best match of that year's WrestleMania. Honest to God, I'm not even trolling people that are listening. I'm not trolling. I've had that sentiment since that night. I genuinely believe that was the best match of WrestleMania 38.
Yeah, and by the way, it's Party Boy Chris Pontus.
Party Boy. Okay, yes.
Yeah, okay. I got another one for you.
Okay.
Let's go with Shaquille O'Neal.
Just I'll let you talk about him.
I was just throwing it out there. Shaquille O'Neal. He was always billed to have a match with Big Show, and it just really never stood what it to the factor it should be. Let's move on. Next one.
I'll throw one your way. Let's go back to let's stick into that world. Gronk as the host of the Pandemomania, if you remember. Wait, was he the host of that Pandemomania?
Yeah, he was.
Right. He was.
Gronkowski's never done anything for me when he's been a part of WWE. It's just, you know what? Like, you're a big football player. You're a party boy. Like, I couldn't care less. When they announced Gronkowski, I was just like, I don't care. Yeah, I'm the same way. Let's move on. Snooki. Okay, hold on. Let me get into this.
You're getting into this? Okay. Oh, the man just adjusted his seat. Okay, get into it.
Let me talk about Snooki. Did you believe growing up during the GTL lifestyle of
Gym Tan Laundry
and Jersey Shore that Snooki, this drunk Jersey girl, could do a backhand spring into an elbow into the corner? Did you ever think this woman was this athletic?
Well, apparently she used to be a cheerleader, so I guess it makes sense. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I will give Snooki the most minimal amount of credit, but I'm going to give her credit where credit's due. She did impress me. She did impress me for what that match was.
Jeez,
so
man.
I was impressed with Snooki.
Wow, your standards are quite low if you're getting impressed by Snooki then. My standards are much higher, and I put them up there with the likes of Floyd Money Mayweather, who had such a fun match and such a fun feud with the Big Show. And what's what the thing that I remember about this is that Floyd was the face going into this, but Floyd himself is such a piece of shit, such an unlikable dude, that he made himself the heel, and it was brilliant. Nobody wanted him to win at WrestleMania, and it fucking worked. That performance was so much fun.
Except for the fact that he broke the Big Show's nose.
Dude, it was a legit punch.
It was a legit punch, and I'm sorry, if I'm the Big Show, I'm 7 feet tall, and this little 5'8", like 140-pound guy breaks my nose, I'm snapping him in half. Like, I'm sorry. I don't care how many people are around me from his entourage. You break my nose and I'm a giant. I'm not having it. But Floyd was able to make this one of those situations where you didn't have a lot of expectations going into the match at all, and then it was just entertaining through and through. So I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Santi, the Don, Donald Trump. What do you got?
I mean, like, looking back on it, it's technically like one of the biggest things that WWE has ever done, right? Mm-hmm. Like, dude, that is a former president of the most powerful country on the planet in a full program with a dude who is a Samoan bulldozer, a monster of a human, and Bobby Lashley and Vincent Kennedy McMahon. A former president is in that spot. Sorry, and Tony Khan. I don't think you're getting a president over in AEW.
I don't know. Maybe he might get George Bush. But anyways, didn't he also take a stunner from Austin?
Yeah, it was the funniest, worst stunner of all time. But who fucking cares?
38 was the worst stunner of all time on Vince.
Fair. Even Stone Cold laughed his ass off at how bad it was.
But I'll say this, Donald Trump really impressed me. I was supposed to go to this WrestleMania. I had tickets to it, but it was one of those cards that you just didn't care about. But the build was so worth it. You got Donald Trump, like you said, one of the biggest egos in the world and a future president of the United States. And he's taking bumps.
Yeah.
It was literally the battle of the genetic jackhammers with like the grapefruits, and it was good. It was so good.
Yeah,
I liked it.
Yeah, like it's one of those moments in WWE history where I look back and like time has made it like that much more important, right? Like, you know, Rock versus Cena at the time. Whoa, huge match. Looking back on it, holy fuck, we got The Rock and John Cena, two of the biggest Hollywood stars in one match, right? Because now John Cena is in a spot where The Rock was back then, right? So like this is one of those, because Donald Trump at one point is the most known human on the planet, on the face of humanity. The most famous, most known individual took a stone cold stunner. You think Stone Cold tells that story at dinner parties?
Imagine Vladimir Putin taking a stone cold stunner.
Dude, Putin, have you seen Putin at those like those hockey games where like these professional hockey players just let him score? Oh, don't touch Putin. He'll send us to the gulag. Let him score. Let him think he's NHL caliber. Meanwhile, we got Donnie over here fucking shaving heads and getting stunned. It's awesome.
Oh man. All right, Sandy, who else we got? I think let's go way back.
Sure.
Let's start out with like the original celebrity.
The OG, sure.
One of the OG celebrities with Mr. T. Coming over from Hollywood, obviously, to something that was untouched, something that was not really proven. What was it? Was it WrestleMania 1?
It was WrestleMania 1 in the tag match, but then he also had a boxing match at WrestleMania 2 with Roddy Piper.
Exactly. So, and talk about long-term storytelling. That was one of those ones where it first started, because they bumped into each other at 1, and then were able to continue that feud almost the whole year, which was great. But for a celebrity of that caliber to come into something that is untouched, with obviously side by side with one of the biggest names on the planet when it comes to this business back then in Hulk Hogan, did Mr. T take a massive chance?
Well, I think the entire concept of WrestleMania at the time was a massive chance. Every documentary I've seen that was like WWE was fucked if WrestleMania didn't work out. So I don't know if it's so much Mr. T taking a chance. I think, you know, you toss enough money his way, he'll do it for you, right? I mean, the man was in commercials for World of Warcraft, for God's sake. But I think the risk was, did we make the right choice by bringing in celebrities into WrestleMania? I think the risk was all on WWE's plate at the time, because they didn't know what WrestleMania was, what it was going to become, and they made the choice. Should we include a celebrity in a marquee spot instead of one of our guys in trunks that maybe that doesn't have this mainstream appeal. Let's try it and see if that works. And clearly it did.
Yeah, it did. 100%. All right, Santi, I think we've covered most of the in-ring stuff.
I got one more for in-ring because this is very unique. I haven't seen the match, frankly, but it was the WrestleMania main event. Lawrence Taylor versus Bam Bam Bigelow, right? Like we have a celebrity, clearly a terrible booking choice to have a celebrity main event WrestleMania. But as far as I know, this is, unless you want to count The Rock, he's the only celebrity that's main evented a WrestleMania. Oh, I guess Mr. T as well, technically.
Yeah.
But that was at least in a tag match where you could hide his flaws as a non-wrestler. That was a one-on-one match.
True, and I get that, but Santi, it was so bad. It was probably one of the worst WrestleMania booking decisions I've ever seen. I was just old enough just to remember seeing it, and I've obviously seen it back since. It was just so bad, man. Like, I don't understand the mindset there. I don't know who booked that, and if it was Vince, that was one of his biggest L's. And I don't mean it in LT. I just mean straight up biggest L's. But yeah, no, it wasn't good. One more. Somebody in the chat just threw up one more that actually makes sense, because this was a very unique situation in WrestleMania history where they actually had a real fight. And it was Butterbean.
Yeah, what a terrible fucking idea it was to put a non-boxer against one of the deadliest boxers on the planet at the time.
And letting him get truly knocked out.
Knocked the fuck out, as Chris Rock would say.
Yeah, like he got, like, who was it? Not Bradshaw.
It was Bart Gunn. Bart Gunn, yeah. Like, goddamn. Like, that was like a Creed style knockout. Dude, so, it buried him because you got real life buried.
Yeah.
There's no 100%. Coming back from getting properly knocked out by a dude. Like, there's no coming back from that.
And like, they didn't have what they have now where you can actually save a storyline. They weren't that good at it back then. Yeah, Bart Gunn, that was the end of his career pretty much. So yeah, Butterbean, Jesus, Butterbean, my days. Anyway, Santi, so let's do a quick, like, rapid fire of like performances, considering we're here for celebrities. Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
That was that the Undertaker back then was reinventing his entire gimmick, and I just think having Limp Bizkit in one of those performances, it was fire. I loved every second of that entrance. Kid Rock.
Kid Rock's another solid one, yes.
Snoop Dogg. Bless you.
Sorry, I couldn't mute the mic in time. That sneeze is for those that are listening. I'm very sick. I am pumped full of caffeine and NyQuil. It's what I've been. This is a shell of myself, and that sneeze was I think the NyQuil running out.
Yeah. Yeah. So what about Snoop Dogg?
When he brought out Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool. I mean, it eventually did lead to him being part of Sasha Banks's full-on entrance theme, right? Because her new entrance theme had Snoop Dogg in it. I do think that her original one was better, but yeah, I mean, it's one of those. I like when the celebrity cameos make sense. Mm-hmm. I really do enjoy that, and it made sense all the way through. Obviously, how many times have we heard that she's the cousin of Snoop Dogg? Yeah. So yeah, I like that. I mean, I like Snoop Dogg. Who doesn't fucking like Snoop Dogg?
I love Snoop. Like,
yeah.
One of the greatest of all times when it comes to like his area of expertise.
Hey, sorry, dude, we are missing a major one. Mike Tyson.
For the era, listen, I don't think Mike Tyson works today. If they decide to bring him back, I don't think Mike Tyson works. But for how grimy WWE was getting in that exact time, Mike Tyson was the perfect choice. You could have not picked a better celebrity to come in for Shawn Michaels pretty much going away, and DX the Degenerates, Austin being Austin and going for his first title. Like, it just all fell into place. and like the stare down between Austin and Tyson, where they do the shoving match and the tens of thousands of dollars explode out of Tyson's pocket. Dude, I don't know if you've seen this, but when they did the shoving match, Tyson had like a couple grand, like 20 or 30 grand in his pocket. And when he fell backwards, the money exploded out. His entourage is on the floor digging to pick up all this money, not even focusing on the fight. So yeah, I think Mike Tyson falls into perfect booking at the perfect time.
Yeah. Any other celebrity like musical performances? Because I know like Motorhead, but Motorhead's not good live, in my personal opinion. I don't think they sound great.
I like grungy rock, so I liked them, but like Motorhead, Flow Rida, because we had Flow Rida for.
Oh yeah, we had Machine Gun Kelly as well.
Hey, listen, anytime I get to see Machine Gun Kelly take a bump, I'm good with that. We had Joan Jett,
Pete Rose as well.
Rose, yeah. We also had who was it that took played the guitar? It's actually Machine Gun Kelly's guitarist. What's her name that played in Nakamura? Which was fantastic. We had Alice Cooper. Oh, how the hell can you forget about Alice Cooper? Muhammad Ali.
Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah. There's been so many good ones, but I think we've covered the ones that really stand out. So yeah, I think for celebrity performances, I think they're always going to be great. They're always going to be a part of WrestleMania. I just hope they, we forgot about Pamela Anderson. But yeah, I think we really need to make sure they're booked correctly. Moving forward. Like there's been some real big misses, but there's been some massive W's as well.
Yeah, I think like especially when it comes to getting in-ring physical, they've been doing a really great job recently. So I'll give WWE that. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Straight Shooter Wrestling Podcast. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure to leave this like, a comment. If you are new around here, subscribe. If you are listening on podcast services around the globe, then please consider leaving a review of some sort of or manner. You can find me over on twitch.tv/SantiZap, as well as TikTok at Mr. SantiZap and Twitter at Mr. SantiZap as well. Steve, where can people find you?
Yeah, your NyQuil is really wearing off, buddy. Yeah, people, you can find me on twitch.tv/Mr. Tashk, at TikTok at Mr. Tashk. And then you guys can find us at locals, straightshoot.locals.com. Just remember, for the final hour of each night of WrestleMania, we will be strictly live on Locals. Straightshoot.locals.com is our premium content service. Do not forget to go over there and subscribe. Guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. Take care.
Cheers.